You got a team here.
Superman can bring this team together better than I ever could. His strength
Doesn't matter how strong you are, or what abilities you might
He's
have.
more human than I am. He lived in this world. Fell in love, got a job. Despite all that power, the world needs Superman. And the team needs Clark.
How many times have you played Batman now? Is it 3?
Well, if you count Suicide Squad, it's 3, yeah.
And how much do you think that's going to be, a 5-timer at least?
I don't know about that. We'll see what the future holds.
I'm putting together a team. People with special abilities. You see, I believe enemies are coming.
Not coming, Bruce. Already here. The others. Where are they?
Arthur Curry. The Aquaman.
Organic and biomechatronic body parts. He's a cyborg.
So you're fast.
That feels like an oversimplification.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
I don't recognize this world.
We don't have to recognize it. We just have to save it.
Hey everybody, so we got a whole bunch of new Batman to talk about. I was originally planning on doing a Superman video, but then they just released a whole bunch of information about Batman in the TV universe, and Ben Affleck just made all these comments about his future in the DCEU, so it just felt like the right time to do a Batman video. But I am still doing that Justice League ticket giveaway. I'll explain at the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, because there'll be review stuff posting next week as soon as the embargo's up, so I'll try to explain what's going on with that too. Very heavy Justice League DC Comics couple of weeks coming before we hit Star Wars territory. But that clip at the beginning really gives you an idea for Batman's arc through these last couple of Zack Snyder films. So you have Man of Steel, which is sort of like a prequel because Batman doesn't appear in that. But as much as it started out like a Superman trilogy, it seems like more of a Batman trilogy, because you have classic paranoid Batman after the events of that big Kryptonian invasion, and because of his sacrifice and the visions that he's had, he's inspired in a way that he hasn't been before. And he tells Alfred, he's more human than I ever was. He had a regular job, he was getting ready to get married, he had a human name. He, as an alien, was more human than me, someone who was actually born a human of Earth. So if you're not a big comic book reader, you may have heard about the Doomsday Clock event that's coming up. That's basically the same type of idea where Superman is the most human person of all, even though he's an alien from another planet, and has to remind someone else who is human of their humanity. And the only real difference is that'll be Superman versus Dr. Manhattan. But even though movie Batman feels like he's spinning his wheels with a team, like Clark could do a better job of this than I ever could. He's become the Batman that you would normally think of when you picture Batman in your head. Like when you think about a comic book Batman story, like there's certain things he does, certain beliefs that he has, certain ways that he would react to situations. And it helps recontextualize his arc during Batman v Superman. Like, why would he act this way? Why would Superman do these things? It's because they wanted to bring him on this journey to where he is right here. So after I see the movie, when I do my review video, I'll try to talk about whether or not I felt like they were successful in taking him to that place. It sounds like they were, just based on the things that Ben Affleck has been saying about the character in all the footage we've seen so far. It's like Batman has become a person again, whereas before he was more of like this mythic figure who had retreated from society. But you probably saw that interview clip and are like, wait a minute, does that mean that Ben Affleck isn't going to be Batman anymore? The thing is that all the actors, the executives, they're sort of in a holding pattern waiting to see how Justice League does before they move forward. Because Ben Affleck has said that he loves being Batman, and I totally believe him. But creatively, behind the scenes, they sound like they're opening things up to just be a little bit more different. Like they don't all have to flow from the same tone as Batman v Superman, Justice League, and Man of Steel. They can be different. Things like Aquaman will be a little bit different, even though it's connected to the DCEU. Wonder Woman's probably the best example of that. If they didn't have those scenes at the beginning and the end connecting it to the picture from Batman v Superman, you would think that that movie was like a spin-off, completely disconnected from everything. But you have the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy that's coming up, and you have the second Justice League movie, which they're still writing and planning on doing at this point. So I think when Ben Affleck is saying, we'll see what the future is holding, one, he's really tired because he's been doing interviews all day, so it's not like he's tired of hearing that, he's just physically exhausted from the press tour. and he's just waiting to see what's going to happen in the next 6 months or so before he commits the next 10 years of his life to the character. So if you hear anybody saying that he doesn't want to be Batman anymore, that's completely false. So it's not nearly as big a deal as some people are making it out to be. It's no reason to freak out. But the really cool thing, sort of in the separate TV universe, is that they've talked more about what's going on with Batman, because we got the big name drop on Arrow, so he officially exists in the Arrow Flash universe.
They could have put Bruce Wayne's head on that body.
Has Bruce Wayne left Gotham to hang out in Star City recently? No.
But since they did that big name drop, Stephen Amell has come out and explained the conversation that he had where he pitched the idea to the CEO of Warner Brothers, Geoff Johns, and pretty much everybody that's responsible for controlling the Batman character. Like, anytime you want to use him, you have to get approval from Warner Brothers. He said he got really lucky back at Comic-Con. He knew that they would have a big name that they needed to drop, and he's like, wouldn't it be awesome if we did Bruce Wayne? It would open up so many possibilities. So here's where it gets a little funny, because Greg Berlanti, he's a very powerful person, says, Steven, you go to Geoff Johns personally while we're here at Comic-Con in person, and you'll probably have a better chance of getting approval for that than I would. So one, that implies that Geoff Johns does have a certain level of approval with the characters that they use on the different TV shows. But when he was having that conversation, he also bumped into the CEO of Warner Brothers, who was standing next to all the biggest producers that they have on their films. So literally the most powerful people at Warner Brothers just happened to be standing next to each other at this Comic-Con party. So Steven starts to pitch them on his idea for Bruce Wayne, and he has like this whole big speech planned out. And halfway through the first sentence, the CEO stops him short and says, that's awesome, great, go for it. And that was the end of it. Like, literally, he didn't even get halfway through his speech, and the CEO was like, that sounds awesome, do Bruce Wayne. So all of you are like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Does that mean that they're going to do Batman on Arrow? No, that's not exactly what Steven was talking about. He said that his idea for Batman, sort of the idea that them using Bruce Wayne, is that he's kind of an antagonist for Oliver within the universe. He's somebody who knows exactly what's been going on and does not like Oliver at all. So obviously Batman is a hero, he's never going to be a real villain, but the idea is that he's an antagonist for Oliver Queen in the Arrowverse. Now, he didn't mention anything about how Bruce Wayne feels about The Flash or Barry Allen or anything that he's done. He would also probably be pretty upset about Flashpoint and all the stuff that Barry's been doing, but it just clarifies who the Batman is of the Arrowverse. He's not the little kid from Gotham. He's an older person who's probably closer to Oliver's age, maybe even a little bit older than that. But he just said that because they're allowed to do that, it opens up a lot of possibilities story-wise for the future of the show. But just let me know how you want them to use the Batman character inside the Arrowverse, if he's somebody that hates Oliver Queen. So hopefully that explains a little bit more about what's going on with TV Batman within the Arrowverse. Obviously, very different character from the one you've seen on Gotham. So I think that also just confirms that Gotham isn't anywhere near being connected to Arrow or Flash. There's a new round of that Justice League ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to the winner from the last video, Dane Phillips. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for brand new Flash, and you can click here for brand new Justice League. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.